Hi, I'm Rick Stiggins, and I've spent the last 40 years striving to bring practical classroom assessment ideas to teachers and school leaders with an emphasis on practical and usable ideas. I wasn't always so practical. I was trained in advanced measurement theory, test theory at Michigan State University to a very high level of technical sophistication, and I then spent 5 years at ACT in Iowa City developing the ACT assessment college admissions test. And then some important changes happened in my life. One was that my wife Nancy and I moved to Oregon in search of the wonderful outdoor lifestyle that we have here. But even more importantly, I became a dad. And for the first time in my career, I had the opportunity to watch the classroom assessment process play out in the learning life of our daughter. And that was a fascinating experience that quite literally changed my career, the focus of my career. I spent the next 10 years on the staff at the Northwest Regional Lab here in Portland, studying classroom assessment processes and developing a vision of excellence in assessment in that context. And I was given the opportunity to spend several decades even sharing my vision of excellence in assessment to educators literally around the world through our Assessment Training Institute. Well, a few years ago, Nancy and I sold the Assessment Training Institute, and I retired to chase the wily steelhead and to write a memoir on the lessons I've learned over the last 40 years about sound classroom assessment practice. That book is entitled Revolutionize Assessment, and you'll hear, I've already heard more about it. Well, last year, Hannah Vandering contacted me and asked if I would be willing to advise a team of OEA members and others who are developing a new vision of excellence in assessment for Oregon schools. And I said I would do that, but only under two conditions. One is that I work with the team merely as a volunteer, citizen of the state of Oregon, and the other is that everybody read the Revolutionize book in advance and decide whether it presents a vision that they could embrace. Well, she agreed to those conditions, and they read and discussed the book, and we became partners. You're aware of the proposal that has resulted from that work, and it calls for the development of assessment systems in Oregon that rely on high-quality assessment used throughout balanced assessment systems to serve the information needs of all assessment users, but especially students and teachers day to day in the classroom. And you need to understand about that vision that's evolving, that I, in the course of my career, have never seen teachers initiate, let alone launch in such a powerful way, an initiative intending to quite literally change the focus of assessment from merely high-stakes annual standardized tests to the classroom level of assessment. You need to understand that this initiative is, I think, unprecedented in the history of American education, and you should be proud of that. And we need to make it work. It's also the case, as you know, that our proposal includes a recommendation that teachers and school leaders throughout Oregon be given the opportunity to develop their assessment literacy. And what that means is that they be capable of developing and using high-quality assessments day to day in the classroom, and know how to use the student-involved classroom assessment process as an instructional intervention during the learning. Incidentally, in the proposal, you'll see that the guiding principles define the foundation of keys to assessment quality that underpin a definition of assessment literacy. So that's in the proposal. You need to understand from the outset that this initiative is being launched without prejudice, in the sense that no one's making any prior assumptions about who is or is not assessment literate. Rather, my hope is that I can help you to understand the criteria by which one judges their assessment literacy. That is, the things that a person needs to know and be able to do, so that you can then evaluate the level of your own assessment literacy and then decide if, when, or how to be involved in the professional development process. I hope you see that honors the professionalism of teachers and school leaders. So the opportunity, that opportunity for learning, it appears, is going to be at hand, because the legislature is considering resources now to make that possible. And I hope you will conduct that self-evaluation and decide when and how to participate. I think you'll find it to be productive. My hope is merely that everyone would understand the differences between sound and unsound assessment practices, and everyone would take responsibility for doing the best they can to meet those standards on behalf of the well-being of our Oregon students. And if we do that, we will have been successful. Thank you very much.